Hi, I'm Stephen Bailey. I'm one of the national managers for Sage in engineering. I've been with the business around 25 years, and I've known Nick since the day he started here at Sage. I guess what most people don't know about Nick is before he even started with Ignition, he was an accomplished senior engineer who's had experience delivering projects for food and beverage, the gas industry, the water industry, manufacturing along the way, and he'd worked with a number of leading SCADA products before he even picked up Ignition for the very first time. So he had the benefit of being able to approach Ignition from a position of experience and understanding where the rest of the industry was at.
Hi, I'm Nick Minchin. I'm a senior systems engineer here at Sage Automation. I first learned about Ignition in 2014 during a call out to troubleshoot an SQL database issue on an Ignition system using transaction groups. Though brief, this glimpse led me to explore the product further. I explored Ignition in my spare time and I was impressed by its features, especially its templating. I saw this as being ideal for our winery projects, with some sites having over 2,000 tanks, 200 tags per tank, and more than 24 tank types.
Nick came to me and the rest of the business leaders in Sage with an idea that him and his team could convert one of the largest wineries in the Southern Hemisphere over to Ignition at a fraction of the cost for what it would take to do for another product. It took Nick and the team around a year to convince the business that this was going to be a solution that was viable. We eventually got behind him, and they actually did convert that site to Ignition at a fraction of the cost for what they were paying for their ongoing support fees. And that sparked Ignition being implemented across the entire winery industry in Australia.
The pilot was delivered in just weeks, designed, developed, and commissioned with such speed that even I was impressed.
Nick's one of those really unique people where he would do a full day's commissioning on site for 12 hours and still get home and check on the Ignition forum to see if there's some other people he could help or some other ideas that he could implement across his projects.
So Nick is a very active member of our forum, certainly up there among the greats. He's always willing to lend a hand. He's always willing to engage with both community members and also with our product. He's always willing to call us out, so to speak, about new features we introduce or things that we're planning. He will not mince words. He will tell us when we need to do a better job because we are not up to standard, that it's not solving the problem that he actually has as a person working with our software.
When they moved to version 8, from version 7 to version 8, they changed the tag editor, and I didn't like it. Well, a lot of people didn't like it. I raised it on the forum and it got a lot of likes.
He's very willing to share bug reports, feature requests, his ideas for the development of the product, and that experience is just invaluable for us because we don't just want people telling us we're doing a great job all the time. We need to know what we're not doing well enough.
Yeah, so last year at ICC I met up with Travis and Kevin and discussed with them my feedback.
It was awesome meeting Nick for the first time. It's really great to see somebody who has the passion for Ignition, much like I do. I love what Ignition can do, and he does too, and he knows every part of the product. He knows how to build any project, he knows how to build modules for Ignition, and he brings that passion to the entire community, and you can just feel it every time you talk to him.
Meeting the team was both exciting and nerve-wracking, especially with my printed list of features to discuss.
I just remember so vividly, he came in with a stack of papers and said, here is how we can make the product better. And it was great to go and see just his experience. And we go through it and it was all like, oh my goodness, we got to do this right away. I got to go tell the developers, let's get these things in place.
So meeting Nick at ICC was great. We sat down outside the Harris Center in the big tent for, I think, almost an hour and a half. And we just kind of talked and chatted and swapped war stories and had a great time. I definitely came away from that conversation with Nick with lots of new ideas for the future and plans for where Ignition could go.
I love working with Nick, and I love working with people who just fundamentally get it. They understand, right? When we get on a phone call or we're chatting about some problem to solve, we're like nerds at heart, we're able to solve any kind of problems, and we just know, we know the knowledge is there. And so now we're both thinking outside the box. What can we do? How can we make this better? And how can we do things that we've never done before?
Let me tell you the story about how we got dark mode on one of our projects. Nick had been working in the forum, learning about some features of CSS to see if we could implement some things across our project. We're working on a very large project with probably 5 concurrent engineers. They went home on a Friday night Nick grabbed the project, and when they returned on Monday, there were major changes to the entire project along the way, where suddenly this brand new feature had been implemented across the weekend. Unbeknownst to them, Nick had stayed up day and night across the entire weekend to implement it across the project, just because he thought he could.
We don't hear from customers so much, especially in software development. And so having a voice of the community telling us, this is what needs to happen to make the software better, this is what needs to happen to make my job as an integrator or an end user better, that's really, really important to us.
Well, I think it's important that we talk about who is the community. So we have systems integrators, we have end users, we have technology providers, we have distributors, we have professors, students, and even hobbyists. All of these individuals make up this rich Ignition community. And it's really important that that community is cultivated and nurtured. And we do our best at Inductive Automation to really provide support, provide resources, provide education around that, but we can't do everything. And so we have individuals out there that are behind the scenes and that are really pushing forward our core values. This award is really there to highlight those individuals and to really shine a spotlight on them and show their efforts and show what's happening behind the scenes, to show recognition to the people that are going above and beyond when they don't have to. They're adding value to this large ecosystem that we've developed over the course of 20 plus years.
Winning a community impact firebrand is an incredible honor. What began as an exciting discovery with Ignition quickly became a passion. Having the flexibility that Ignition offers was addictive, and I soon found myself testing boundaries. I was asking more questions, delving deeper, and at the same time I was sharing what I learned with others to help them do the same.
So Ignition advocates are so important to other users because you don't know what you don't know, right? And when you go there and you can see what other people are doing and the ways that they're thinking, that can really influence you in the types of things that you're trying to accomplish. And it allows you to have much wider context and much more possibilities at your fingertips. And that's gonna rise the entire community, entire ecosystem to a new level.
Just getting started with Ignition, understanding how to use it, and then him becoming a pillar of our community over the years has been just astonishing to see. And he revolutionized how SCADA was approached in Australia. He's been working with the Sage Group for a number of years, and he's single-handedly grown their Ignition developers that work on projects all around Australia and around the world.
When Nick was leading those first projects that he was delivering, there were 2 people in Sage that knew how to use Ignition. This has grown to a community of almost 90 people at every single state around the country.
He's there as a mentor to other people in the community. And it's really great to see that sense of willingness to help and something he doesn't have to do.
He had over 200 feature requests that were really important for how we approached product development, and then over 300 bug reports.
If he sees a feature or if he sees a useful piece of technology, he has to go and test it out and try it. And then if someone asks a question, he's gonna go and tell them, this is the way you should do it, or try and help them along the way. He does that for the international community, the same way he does that internally for Sage.
For Nick to win this award, it means a great deal. It really highlights his selfless contributions to the community, bringing that knowledge to the table and being able to help engineers everywhere.
I'd like to just thank everyone in the community for their ongoing support, for what they each bring to the community. Whether it's the people asking the questions that provide the foundations, the people offering their time to answer the questions, or the people who build modules. We all play a part in keeping the community thriving.
Nick isn't the person that would ever nominate himself for an award like this, and thank you to the Inductive team for recognising him.
I want to say congratulations, Nick. It has been an awesome journey with you and Ignition so far. You totally deserve this award. I can think of nobody better. I can't wait to see where we go in the future. There's so much possibilities ahead of us. Keep up the passion, keep up the good work, and you know that I'm always going to be here for you.
I just got a backlog of all these feature requests. This is probably not going to make the cut.